and as is often the case, I do need just a minute here, so let me get this going. Right. Pull that up. Pull that up. There we go. Should be good now. And I apologize that I'm just apparently staring at a wall here. Alright, let's see here. I think I managed to get everything fixed. We'll find out once we actually start fighting things. I did go through and get a little bit more experience on a few Pokemon going through this. Obviously, getting Richie up to 20 is going to be the hardest one. Nobody's at 20 yet, and, you know, Richie's going to be kind of the big challenge there. This is Nugget Bridge. Beat us 5 trainers and win a fabulous prize. Think you got what it takes? Alright, fingers crossed that I've actually got the 3D models working again. So, let me see first. Okay, sweet. So, I had it working before I was streaming, but I was in this exact same scenario last time. Apparently, with the last stream, and I do want to share this this information out there. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's a good viewing of the location. Anyways, for the last stream, let's get Rigid out there. When I was getting everything ready to go, there was an update to the mainline recompilation system. Now, up until now, I have been doing, you know, updates for every time I turn it on. If I see an update, I update it, and nothing has broken up until that point. So I kind of figured, oh, hey, this is just general updates. Things seem to be working consistently. I have no reason to think that they won't going forward. Well, one of the recent updates before I went live, either that day or the day before, changed internally how some mods work and function. And so there was a compatibility issue with the version of the mod that I had up until then, which, by the way, again, the mods seem to often work the same way. I can just update from within the program, and they update, and there's no big issue with it. However, with this big fundamental changing about how some of the mods can load in and function, that entire version of that mod, it doesn't matter if it was updated, at least at the time of when I was trying to figure out how to repair everything, which was after the stream. It doesn't matter a lot of the little details there, because they couldn't update it to function. I had to go find a similarly functioning mod, and so right now we are working on exactly that. It's similarly functioning, it does the same thing, and it seems to work essentially the same way, with a couple of changes here and there. But right now, Shaggy's might not be the best call, but we're gonna keep going with it. But yeah, it's working now, and I'm just right now, unless I have a strong need to, I don't think I'm going to update the recompile project for a little bit, and I'll see what happens and where things go. And you know, if things happen to break on me, then maybe yeah, sure. But right now, it just I want to work with what's functioning and that I'm enjoying. Anyways, Rigid, welcome to the stream. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well. Had to cancel my YouTube Premium subscription recently due to, yeah, dude, I get it, budgeting is ass right now. And the site is just looking depressing without it. There are enough ads to make a NASCAR driver raise an eyebrow. I can't argue with it. Again, man, and coming from being old enough to remember some of the, I don't want to say the earliest days of YouTube, because I don't remember those well enough, but I was around. Oh, man, that hyper thing is rough. Alright, I want to just keep pushing forward, so we're going to have the Rat King come up here and see what he can do with a quick attack. Damn it! I was hoping it would be enough, but again, that magic pixel has just been, like, rubbing me raw lately. Stream was just lagging a lot in short bursts. It seems better now, though. Let me know if that happens again. I did notice when I went live, for whatever reason, YouTube seemed to have some questionable things happening. I wasn't even going live yet, and it was just even just getting connected to YouTube and getting things updated, you know, changing the title and all that stuff, was running so slow. I wonder if YouTube is just having some issues right now. I know that all of these animations are just, you know, crudely taken over from essentially Pokemon Stadium, but there is just, I don't want to spend like a lot of time talking about this because it really does start to feel like I'm just, you know, shitting on some of the newer generation games. And don't get me wrong, the newer generation games have a lot going on for them that I enjoy, but it really hammers home just how insufficient the modern Pokemon games are with how they handle battling. And by that, I mean the animations, the way certain attack happens, things like that. Because, like, legitimately, and I'm gonna show my example here. I'm not just gonna say it. I'll demonstrate what I'm talking about. The idea that I can have Pikachu go out on the battlefield, and it's got, like, a certain amount of self, you know, uniqueness to it. Now, as Pokemon Yellow, it gets extra special treatment. But if I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna use Thunder Shock, you can see Pikachu charges, discharges, and fires the attack. By the way, currently the battle animations are going at double speed. I can actually lower them down and they'll line up a little bit better. But this does also mean that the battles are going to take as long as they do in Generation 1. And if you haven't played Red, Blue, and Yellow in a while, it is kind of a slow fest. So double speeding it is already kind of, you know, putting me in a spot that I'm a little bit more okay with, but, you know, it does have drawbacks. But let me go in here and throw the Mega Punch, and there we go, this way. Zoom in and showcase Pikachu. Let me work that a little bit. You can see, Pikachu literally has a wind-up and a punch animation. Like, under what circumstances are you going to have Pikachu doing any of that? Again, kind of hard to tell there. Let me zoom out a little bit. Pikachu's Tail Whip literally has additional movement on the tail. And I know that was all completely unnecessary just for me to showcase all of that. Pikachu took a lot of beating there just to make my point. Let me see if I have any potions. I don't want to go back already, but yeah, we'll see if we can take this fight without dealing with that. Let's put Pikachu back in the back line here. There we go. I want to at least get through these two here. I'm number 5. I'll stomp you. Anyways, Rich, welcome to the stream. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well. Wow, I missed a fair bit. Suddenly remembered you said you were streaming today, so I opened another tab and saw you were streaming. Thank you very much for stopping in. Always appreciate it. There was apparently supposed to leak about the Pokemon anime that I just saw, saying that they might switch to a seasonal. Oh, yeah, I did see. I think you shared that on the Discord, like, just before I went live. I briefly saw that. I haven't even had time to, like, take in and consider what that might be. Like what that might mean for the series going forward. Alright, it's a Mankey. I'm gonna send Shaggy back out there. Shaggy really needs to beef it up. Let's try the sand attack. Alright, critical hits are not gonna be friendly to him. Holy son of a gun! What is with the crit rates right now? This is absurd. Oops, all crits? Congratulations, you beat our 5 contest trainers. You just earned a fabulous prize! You received a nugget! By the way, would you like to join Team Rocket? Again, I don't think you ever really get to have an answer to this. Yeah, okay. Are you sure? Come on, join us. No. I'm telling you to join. I get it. You need some convincing. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. That looked like it was doubling up on the dialogue there for a second. I don't think that was as intended, but you know, again, still a project in the works. I mean, we're not even at version 1. We're at version 0.1.9. So, yeah, things are still a little bit sketchy there. Alright, let's go with... Let's send Quinn out here. Again, crits. They're just endless right now. Alright. Double kick is pointless. Goes before an attack. But yeah, the idea of the going to a seasonal format after Horizons. The reason I'm so like wrapped up on it and not sure where I fall is the where they were at before was largely because it was like the most common way. My thinking is I should specify this is my thinking on it, not that I can prove anything, but the most common way for their target audience to consume the media was to be able to watch it on TV. That was still like the biggest market cap percentage that they had. Now we're at the era of everything is streamed. Everything. The idea of TV watching is unfortunately... I don't even know how many kids watch like shows they genuinely like. Like you've got big famous ones like Bluey, and I'll be honest, I don't know how many people watch Bluey through any live TV system. Like it's streamed, everything's streamed. Now I've talked about my views on like streaming and you know the differences between streaming something and owning something, but for general purpose consumption, it's also worse than it was back in live TV. Yes, you have the luxury of not having to worry about, you know, I can't even say this. It used to be you didn't have to worry about ads, but you have ads now. You don't even get that luxury, and what you got back in the day, if there was a show that you really liked and you wanted to be able to watch it later on, and you were willing to say, hey, I might not get the highest quality, but I want to have it available, you would plug in a VCR and put a blank cassette in there, a VHS, and you would have it record what is being shown on your TV, and you had it. Like, you had to sit there and sit through the ads, but you had it. If you wanted to buy it later and have no ads, you owned it, and you didn't get ads, and you got the better quality version that was released. You don't get any of that anymore. And even now, it seems like there is a big push to even make the option to buy things anymore is starting to dissipate. We see this with video games right now. I think we're going to see this with anime going forward. I think we're going to start seeing this with like successful shows that come out. They're going to be on streaming platforms. Why would you get the DVDs? Why would you get the Blu-ray set? I think they're going to start making merchandise for everything, and you're going to get like collector's editions that are just going to be bundled box sets of shit, but it's not going to actually have the actual game or show or anything, because if you want that, just get the code. The code's already there. Just pay for it digitally. Yeah, anyways, so where I was going with all of that is it's getting worse, and I don't think kids are even gonna know that there was a different time and what they could have, because we are letting the momentary convenience let us trade away our consumer rights for shackles. They're gonna be shackles, and that's the way I see it. Yeah, let me take a look at something here. I'm going to look into the stream data. Give me just a second. I do have to back out of the game for this. Hopefully you guys don't see anything weird happening on the back end. Yeah, it looks like it's just staring at the guy right now. I think this is the guy that's going to give us Charmander. Alright, let me take a look here. Alright, there is a bit of a spike on some YouTube systems there. Let me check what I've got going on. My internet is currently having a little bit of a hit, but not nearly to the degree that it should be affecting the stream's capacity to actually function. So it does look like... Alright, can I get back into the game? Yeah, there we go. It does look like there is something going on with YouTube. Please let me know what's going on with that as it keeps going on. But yeah, so with the... To finalize that thought before I get going back on with the game now, sorry about that. With everything going into the streaming service platform format, I don't know if it's, you know, as viable to have the animated series the way that they used to, when they could just do seasons and just say, hey, the seasons are out, here they come now. And I don't even know if we're going to get any more shows like Horizons or like we had with the Pokemon series for so long. I wouldn't be surprised if we do episodic or even like pocket seasons and then you just lose those characters. Because that also seems to be the trend for the younger audience. They don't have the attention span to constantly want to see the same characters over and over again. If the younger generation was sitting, like right now, had an Ash Ketchum, and they came out and they said, hey, we're going to have Ash Ketchum for like 10 seasons, the younger generation is going to get bored. I genuinely think that. I think they're going to cycle out characters just to rapid fire content in that quick brain checklist turnaround method. Alright, so we are going to get a Charmander here, and I want this Charmander. We're not going to give it a nickname. Alright, sent to the box. There we go. I need to double check on that box too, because there's only so much that it can do. I also want to be able to check something here. Ah, okay. So, there is the Mew glitch that you can do if you have an Abra. You can pause right before you initiate a fight sequence with this trainer, and you can teleport. Now, I would still be able to trigger the pause, but I wouldn't be able to do the teleport right after, so it wouldn't change anything. I'd just go right into the fight. But I was curious if it would be applicable here. And it looks like it is probably patched in a way that does not allow for that. Anyways, making use of that glitch is how you can get a lot of rare Pokemon early on, including Mew. Alright, so we got Richie here out. And whoever I send in, they're gonna eat a Hyper Fang. Let's have it be Quinn. Oh, shoot. No, this one's level 14. It's not gonna come in with the Hyper Fang. I could have had that be Keegs that was getting that hit in. Yeah, look, physical media supremacy is the only way to keep things in a way that anybody has any control of what they're getting and what they're buying. But like I was saying, I think it's unless people as a large enough block of the consumer base finally decide, look, as cool as the new stuff is coming out, I'm just going to not partake until people can commit to the short-term hurt that's going to do, you're going to miss out on stuff. You have to accept that the fear of missing out is something that you have to sacrifice if you want to have ownership of things. Anyways, and until we get to that point, it is going to be an ever-devolving, slippery slope. And I think I have a great ball. Let's see. Yo! First try! Caught the Abra with a great ball. Sleeps 18 hours a day. If it senses danger, it will teleport itself to safety, even as it sleeps. Alright, it's not joining the party, so I don't need to give it a nickname yet, but at some point, I should really go through there and make some of those changes and corrections. Yeah, unfortunately, if you want good things, sometimes you have to take a stand and unfortunately chew off your own legs sometimes, metaphorically speaking. Magikarp can finally hit something, which means Magikarp can do its own grinding. We don't necessarily have to have it relegated to the front row anymore. I mean, we can, especially if we're looking to grind it. To grind the experience for it, but right now I am more interested. Okay, Keegs, I need you to be up front because this guy's gonna be an asshole. Shorter seasons could also mean they could use extra money towards other things. Shorter equals lower budget generally. Yeah, except I'm not sure that that's what they're gonna do. They have given me nothing to explain and justify. They have given me nothing to believe that that's what they're gonna do. Rather than, you know, taking the lower budget and pocketing the profit, they have not given me anything to go off of to imply that they will be trustworthy enough to have the good faith thought that that's gonna be what they're gonna do. Around there. We do have to fight her though. You know, let's have Rigid go up front for fighting her. My boyfriend is cool. Send out the Rat King. But yeah, they are sitting on so much money and such a valuable IP, and yet they are constantly undercutting and undercutting and undercutting. You know, even the merchandise you get anymore can't even be, like, decent quality unless you're paying absolutely out of the nose for it. But, like, on their own website, like, when was the last time you tried to buy a t-shirt there? It's gonna be, like, 30 bucks for a t-shirt, and you're gonna get, like, a $5 t-shirt quality. You're gonna get something that was just printed on the lowest quality mass shirt that they could get their hands on, and just it's just gonna be like one of those laminar or whatever they call it, heat pressed. Yeah. Wait, no, fight you this way first. So, like, you can't get quality merchandise. Their games, as of late, have just been constantly reduced pricings. Well, Hyper Fang is going to work on a Geodude. Not great, but not terrible either. Alright, it's a terrible matchup, but I'm going to send out Pikachu just because I kind of want to. It is entirely because of the fact that everybody else is so hurt, and Pikachu's at least at full health and can take a few hits. Man, the defense curling is getting annoying. This Geodude absolutely took the Metapod strat. I don't want to keep sending Keegs out. He's going to end up getting, like, the runaway experience, but I don't want to do all of that again, so, you know, Keegs come in and kick the ball in the balls. Chewing off my own leg might not be so bad. I'll probably just be really, really chewy with all the body fat. Well, you know what they say, you know, the fat is flavor. I am not a fat man, I am a tasty snack. Alright, we're kind of getting roughed up here, but we are making our way through the fight league here. Alright, so now that we've got him dealt with from this far away, I want to draw you out further, because I want that item, and I don't want to have to come back here with Cut just to get it. Alright, Rattata's not bad. Oh, this is danger. Yeah, that was danger zone. I was trading a miss for being able to be the one to end the fight early. Let's see here. Fan-made Pokemon merch is almost always better quality than the official stuff. But it wasn't always that way. The Pokemon merchandise used to be actually, like, pretty solid. You could find stuff that was done better, but, you know, you kind of had to go hunting for it. Right now, the official merch is just so bad that, you know, getting the whatever off of Etsy or something is going to give you a better quality. If the Etsy store is just... Yeah, Shaggy. This is dumb, but I'm gonna try it. And we tackle our way to victory. Over in Ekans. Can I use my fish as a flail to beat this snake? Anyways, yeah, it used to be pretty decent, and now any Etsy shop that is going to have any degree of, like, reputability is already going to be using at least a mid-quality shirt, like if they're doing shirt pressings or whatever. So even if the printing is similar quality to what, you know, Game Freak or the Pokemon, I think it's the TPC that is running merchandise side of it. It's been a while since I've bothered to look into how everything's. There we go. I am definitely going back to heal up. We're right there at the end, but I don't want to put up with that. But yeah, it's disappointing that the merch is that bad. But, you know, again, the games, we have seen the path that the games are going down. We see what this is. Voltorb? Is that what that was? Electrode, okay. You know, hear me out here. Maybe I'm dumb, but isn't Electrode supposed to be a white top and Voltorb has the red top? I'm just saying, they could have, you know, flipped the sprite there and justified it if they wanted to use the Electrode. But, yeah, even fan-made Pokemon games as of late are, I don't want to say better quality, because they're not releasing on something like the Switch 2, and they're almost usually always just some hack variation of what's already put out anyways. But there are projects that are innovative, that do creative things. Again, we had that one where they had a 3D fight, and I'm fairly certain that game was actually an old project. And like we got that recently with oh shoot, I went the other way. Ooh, and it's an Onyx too. Rigid, you are not in a good spot. We're gonna swap over to again. every bit of all of that it could out of that bomb. Full 5 turn bomb. But yeah, that game that we had that had a sort of 3D space fight option was, I'm fairly certain, an older ROM hack. Not a ROM hack, but an older fan project. And we kind of see something similar now in the newest Legends game. And so again, this is an idea that at least the fans who are innovating are coming up with ideas before the industry professionals. No. Mine comes with a steel sheath, Keegs. Mine's already evolved, but I appreciate the sentiment all the same. Anyways, Keegs, welcome to the stream. How are things going? Hopefully things are going well. But yeah, it's just disappointing to see what they're doing with all of... Again, they have the single largest grossing IP out there. Like, come on, Pokemon beats the mouse. It beats Mickey Mouse. Disney wishes they could Disney wishes they could Pokemon. There we go, level 18. I think that's 2 levels away from Rigid being able to evolve. And we can finally unlock his full Kanto potential. Alright, so Shaggy's gonna be so useless in the upcoming fight, so let's put Pikachu up front. Feeling a little nauseous though? Something to do with like the workout, or what's going on with that? Yeah. So yeah, that should be a little bit more cylindrical, but I think the way that it renders out, yeah, not the best looking one, but you know, again, still such an early series project. Yeah, I do love that Pikachu's over here wondering what's going on with Bill. Oh yeah, I'm a Pokemon. No, I'm not. Call me Bill. I'm a true blue Pokemaniac. Hey, what's with that skeptical look? I'm not joshing you. I screwed up an experiment and got combined with a Pokemon. So, help me out here, would you? When I'm in the teleporter, go to my PC and run the cell separation system. So, this is one of those things where... Whoa. Oh, that's supposed to be a seat. This is one of those things where I'm not quite sure how well I appreciate that this functions out and the result of it. Because he says he merged with a Pokemon. I like how in the anime it was a costume. He says he merged with a Pokemon. So he separated his cells from the Pokemon cells. Where's the Pokemon? If he didn't die in the experiment, where's the Pokemon? Yeehaw! Bill's just a Texan. Thanks, bud, I owe you one. So, did you come to see my Pokemon collection? You didn't? That's a bummer. Alright, I've got a thank you. Oh, here, maybe this'll do. That cruise ship, the SS Anne, is in Vermilion City. Its passengers are all trainers. They invited me to their party, but I can't stand Fancy Nose, so, why don't you go instead of me? You have him say yeehaw and fancy nose? He is absolutely Texan. Okay, but like, where do I thought I was able to... Can I not? Oh no, wait, maybe if I leave... Ah. There we go, okay. Man, the Jolteon art was so weird back then. And even back then, Vaporeon has a weirdly effeminate face. Go on, cue the memes. No, I think I probably just ate too much. You did have a big lunch, and I do know that you tend to be pretty restrictive on your diet, so that could be it. Hopefully that's all it is. By the way, that lunch looked so good. I'm absolutely jealous of the rib treatment. Heal up. And let's go fight, you know, an entire generation's possibly first fictional word. I want to say waifu. Waifu might not be what it was, but there was an awakening for a lot of people of a generation with Misty. Again, that damned magic pixel. Are you really dodging the Mega Punch? What is with you, horsey? Let Pikachu punch you in the face. It's only right. Oh, when we get to the later levels, I'm gonna have to get a sensor bar, because, like, I'm gonna need to get creative with what to do when Cloyster shows up. It just hit me. Like, with YouTube's system all being AI operated for, like, how to determine whether you are or aren't doing and showing things that you maybe should or shouldn't. If they're relying on AI so heavily, I don't know if I'm gonna be forgiven for having a Cloyster rendered in 3D with a full frontal showing. I feel like YouTube might maybe pick up on something with that. I don't even remember how clearly displayed it was in 3D in Pokemon Stadium. Cloyster is not necessarily one of those Pokemon I got a whole lot of use out of myself. So, out of curiosity, and I'm going to ask the general crowd, because I think we've got at least 3 people in here. When it comes to the female lead characters within the Pokemon series, for whatever reason, I'm not going to ask for specifics, I'm not going to go down the creepy path, but which character was your favorite for Ash to spend time with in the adventure process? And which one was the first one that you got exposed to? What's your policy on Pokemon? What is your approach? My policy is an all-out offensive with water-type Pokemon. Misty, the world-famous beauty, is your host. Are you ready, sweetie? Because I grew up with Misty, and I do like the feisty redhead stereotype character. But I did really enjoy the travel with May. First of all, because Ash was competent by that point, and that was kind of the role he was filling. And she came in originally not even like super liking Pokemon, and it was a really cool dynamic to see. And I think that I gravitated towards liking the exploration with her because of that kind of stuff. This is kind of rough. I think this thing can even... okay, extra defense. Oh, if they... I don't remember if they can heal or not, but this could be so good for Rigid Quick Attack. Oh, the crit, though! I was so hoping that that was going to be kind of cool. Alright, Richie came in to get a massive experience boost, though. Alright, Pikachu is not going to learn Slam. It's arguably just better for it, but Pikachu's got Mega Punch. That's our normal shot here. We're not going to stick with Slam. My Pikachu throws hands. First was Misty, but my favorite is probably May or Dawn. I don't know, it's a hard one. Dawn was enjoyable, but again, I think it was for me, it was the uniqueness that May brought in, specifically not even liking Pokemon. That was very endearing to see on that. But the Diamond and Pearl era in general was also just really good too. You had really good antagonists. You had a great, like, sort of anti-hero with Paul. You had an absolute, like, unforgettable rug pull and shitting on the chest of all of the fans with having the player character fight Ash in the end there. So, you know, great run there. Alright, coming from Richie. First was Misty for me. I would have said my favorite was May when I was 10 because I had a crush on her at the time. Nowadays, I'd either say Dawn or Serena. I would say probably and again, this is all personal biases, so it is what it is. I'm not gonna attack you for it or anything, but I would say that my personal least favorite is probably Serena. I felt like a lot of her story was shoehorned in and forced and just came out of the blue. And for me, that just kind of like threw me off. Also, I was also more of a fan of the long-haired Serena as well, so. Let me make sure I'm getting those characters correct. Yes, I am, okay. I wanted to double check on that, because it was one of those things where it's like, man, I could be horribly misremembering. Alright, let's get Richie out here. Drowsy's gonna pop in. Yeah, okay, let's bait that out. It's a good one for Shag. This is not a good one for Shag. Holy cow, that... Oh man, that confusion was dark. That was rough. Alright, let's just sand attack this out. Still disabled. Holy cow. Alright. Let's see if we can sand attack scum our way to a victory for Shaggy. Holy cow. That was nice. Alright. And we finally got access to the TM for Dig. Again, would be a... There we go. Would be a good one for me to give to Shaggy just so that he has the move accessible to him right now, but like... He learns it naturally, so it's a waste of the TM. It would just be getting it early. Again, for type coverage and everything, could be really good to give to Rigid, though. Oh, I wanted to check as well. Let me go all the way down. Yeah, Bubble Beam. I thought so. Rigid can in fact learn the Bubble Beam. But I liked his idea from the last stream of dedicating Surf rather than Bubble Beam, so we'll go with that. I think Rigid can also learn Cut. Somebody's gonna have to learn Cut. Might be Shaggy. By the way, after stream today, I am going to be doing a little bit of a discussion over in the Discord. We are talking about maybe getting started on some consideration, avenue, thought processes. Anyways, about possibly getting started and doing a little bit of a D&D campaign. Alright, let's see if I can bait out a meow. I think they're available back this way. I think you can get one here. The illegal substances in the bag. Hold up, what? What illegal? Are you talking about my performance enhancing drugs? Like, the HP up is not illegal, and the rare candy is not steroids. That's the what's the one that boosts your physical attack? I think it's protein. Protein does not work that way. You don't just eat protein and suddenly gain physical offense, and it wouldn't make you more aggressive either. Steroids, on the other hand. And man, if somebody could make a version of this where it's in the 3D exploration process, and they could build it around the Game Boy Color game Lufia: The Legends of Lore. What was it? Is it The Legend of Lore? No. The Legend Returns. Lufia: The Legend Returns. If somebody can do this and work that into Lufia: The Legend Returns, I would play through the entire game fresh anew. It would be a very long series. It would last so long. But God, I love that game genuinely. I've thought about playing it myself, but like, it's a Game Boy Color game. Who wants to sit there and play through a Game Boy Color JRPG all the way through, as much as I absolutely adore it? That said, in that game, they quite literally have Magic Pop. That is absolutely an item that you get in that game. And you can buy so much Magic Pop. Yeah, we're not gonna leave anybody with the daycare, man. Alright, there we go. Can't go this way, that's right. Take the underground tunnel. And again, somewhere in here is an item. We're gonna see if I can find it. I'm gonna walk along this wall. It might very well be on the other wall or somewhere in the middle. I don't remember well enough, and I'm just gonna run the wall and hope for the best. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, okay. Let the world load up a little bit. So, unfortunately, we do have, yeah. I can actually fix that up, I think. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then you can see off in the distance the town we came from. Now, I did want to leave it as the void, because when you go in buildings and such, I wasn't sure what it was going to do for things. I was always, when I set it up that way in the first place, I was worried about what it was going to do in large space, indoor facilities, like the Team Rocket hideout and things. Come on, give me a couple wild Pokemon. I'm back. You beating the snake with a fish gave me some inspiration. I had to edit together a new short before the joke slipped away. Alright, love it. And I found a meow. Alright, this is a big one for me. Go figure, one of my favorite Pokemon is going to be one that is going to let me crash the Pokemon economy. Alright, let's swap over to Richie. And we're just going to whittle this thing down real slowly. It's already paralyzed, so it should eventually, sometime, maybe consider suffering the effects of paralysis. All the way through that, and it took one moment. Alright, get out here, Tag. Alright, let's throw the old Pokeball. Hopefully it's good enough. Not quite super low, but low enough. appears to be more active at night. It loves, did I say earlier, one of my favorite Pokemon in Yellow. Anyways, appears to be more active at night. It loves round and shiny things. Picking them up. Yes. Right off the bat, I know that, just like I know Growlithe is going to be Rhea, this one is... There we go. My Meowth is definitely a girl. I have chosen this to be a fact. Anyways, earlier, Rigid, we did ask about, in the Pokemon series, what was your first of the female companions Ash travels with, and which one is your favorite? This is not necessarily having to be any sort of, like, creepy thing, just, like, the favorite story, favorite, whatever. Oh, boy. Let's put Rigid right up front, because somebody's gonna have to go into it. I think I can... Nope. No matter what I do, gotta fight them both. Poke economy is broken. Yeah. Welcome to all economy lately, man. Not even the Pokemon world can escape how shit the economy is. Man, even the fantasy worlds are feeling it. Which, by the way, really seems to be just about how things are shaping up. Hear me out. Historically, it used to be that there was always a group that was, you know, kind of the global superpower in one way, shape, or form. You know, we got things like Rome and all that. And in their heydays, they were, oh, finally a new move. It's just a better scratch, but still. Alright, Keegs, can you solo? Let's see about this. But yeah, these days, like, America's hurting economically, all of Europe, the Middle East, Africa, China, you point at anybody and it just seems that everybody is hurting. This man is a fraud and a cheater. He has a level 16 Eradicate. I looked it up before the stream started. These motherfuckers evolved at level 20. Pokemon, I never want to hear about, like, your, oh, this Pokemon isn't official bullshit anymore. You've been doing it since the beginning. Oh, she's out there jumping around a bit. Oh, wait, are you the guy that gives me the... No. Him? I want the old rod. Give me your old rod, man! There we go. Walked into a random old man's house, got his rod. Just like every 10-year-old going out and exploring the world on their own. Oh, that is not a clean message there, Pokemon. That one don't work out too good for us. Alright, yep, can't be replaced. Once you HM, you can't go back. legit in love with the Clefairy. Well, look, buddy, I tried. Also, I love that there's a Clefairy over here that Pikachu's just flying over, and the seal just gets ignored. Oh, look, a hand puppet. That is quite the interpretive art. Get me out. Wait, hold on, I made it. Misty was the first I experienced. Dawn is my favorite, though she has the right amount of sassy attitude. I will say Dawn in the later season, definitely a much stronger character. Give me your old rod, man. Careful. Look, Rich, I knew exactly what I was saying. I have more than 100 Pokemon. I love them all. I'm very fussy when it comes to Pokemon. So, did you come to hear me brag about my Pokemon? I came to get your voucher for a bike, old man. I got the old rod from one, and now I'm coming to steal your bike voucher. Good. Listen up. My favorite, Rapidash. Oh, it's cute, lovely, smart. It's amazing. Oh, you think so too? Oh yeah, it's stunning, kindly. I love it. Hug it when it's sleeping. It's warm and cuddly. Spectacular. It ravishes me. And oh, whoop! Look at the time. I've kept you too long. Thanks for hearing me out. Take this. Shut up. You heard nothing. Exchange that for a bicycle, and don't worry. I can get around. I am rich. I have a private jet. So, yeah, don't really need that. Anyways, I hope you like cycling. Get along now, kid. Alright, I can see that got removed there. The lag was so bad earlier that I'm apparently watching this almost 2 minutes in the past. Well, on the one hand, I'm sorry about that. On the other hand, 2 minutes from now, you are going to have a funny horsecock joke. I hope it made you laugh. Alright, let's see here. What are we looking at? Everybody's healed up. Man, I could push in between this stream and next stream. I could push this into getting my big, giant, wet snake. And I can just tear through a boat. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to leave some trainers available for me to go train against. I think I'm going to set this up for me to be in a really good spot going forward. Can I grab Squirtle already? I think I actually have to wait until I get the badge first. Yeah, okay, so we can get the Squirtle after we get the badge. Yeah, I think we will wrap it up here. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Dungeons and Dragons and things of that nature over in the Discord. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in. As always, hope you guys have a good one. I hope to see you next time. And, of course, a bye-bye.